Let me start by asking you this question. Do you see any future for Gaza after this war that includes Hamas in any form of power?
So it's for Palestinians to choose their governments, and what we saw from the Israeli response to the Biden speech is the wish to continue the war, continue killing civilians, continue in its attempt to designate who it wants to govern Gaza under their own authority and its ability to continue invading and occupying our land. That is not possible.
It's the Palestinians' right to keep Hamas in government, and it's Israel's right to attack Palestine and eliminate Hamas. You see, we all have rights. You having the right to keep a terrorist group in government doesn't negate the right of Israelis for security. Isn't that right? Right. So, Israel is forced to continue this war until the existential threat of Hamas is eliminated, something that you apparently are not willing to compromise. Therefore, the blood of innocent Palestinians that die in the process is on your hands. Then you said that Israel invaded and occupied your land. You had that chance for a Palestine to make a country in 1947 or 1948, but you rejected. Therefore, Israel doesn't occupy an imaginary country that you failed to create in the first place.
The future we see is one where we have a real prospect for Palestinian freedom, and that our people will be offered finally that right and that choice. And we are confident that our people as a whole will adhere to that choice.
I mean, with respect, the question I asked you is whether you think it would be right for Hamas to hold any power, not what the Palestinian electorate might think. But what do you think?
I think that you have a Palestinian government that should have authority over the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, including East Jerusalem. And I think that Israel has done everything to undermine.
So, with one breath, he is confident that once Palestinians are given a country, everyone will rally behind peace. But with the same breath, he cannot find it in his heart to say that Hamas should not be part of this government. Imagine how confident you are, my friend. Guys, this phenomenon I only see with Islamists and the regressive left. They cannot finish a sentence without contradicting themselves. Really. So you, the moderated, the ambassador to the UN, okay, after the atrocities Hamas did on 7th of October, raping, killing, burning people alive, and all these kind of things. You, the moderated, on Piers Morgan, in front of all the world, you cannot say that Hamas should not have part on the future government, but at the same time you want people to believe that once the Palestinians are given a country, they will all rally behind the PLO and behind peace. Really? When yourself cannot rally behind peace.
The Palestinian leadership and government that are willing to make peace as long as the occupation ends. Israel considers that the existential threat is the Palestinian state, and that is a big mistake that has led to all this ordeal. It's Palestinian freedom who will bring shared peace and security to our region.
Okay.
Only when we recognize reality efficiently, we can hope to solve problems. Do you accept the truth of this quote? The Palestinian ambassador to the UN claims that once we make a Palestinian state in Gaza and West Bank, in the 1947 borders, that will bring peace to the region. Yet Salman Rushdie said this, one moment. He said, a free Palestine will be a Taliban-like state if that what the progressive movement of the Western left is that. Sorry guys, I forgot how to read. Sorry. So he says, is that what the progressive movement of the Western left wants to create?
So would you believe in the democratic vote though? So would people be allowed to vote in women politicians? Stop paying.
Okay, that's fine. You just want to answer. That's all right.
So, what we have here? We have two radically different interpretations of reality that demand diametrical opposite solution, if true. If Palestinians are in fact Norwegian people in grievances, making a Palestinian state in Gaza and West Bank will bring peace. But if Palestinians are Taliban and you give them the West Bank and Gaza, that will only increase the hostilities and conflict. So who is right?
Let me tell you a little bit about how I know Gaza. By the way, the word Gaza, is that a nice word? Gaza. Does that sound nice to you? Like, huh? You know, in the ancient world, Gaza, or Aza, or in Arabic, Raza, was considered one of the most beautiful beaches in the world. It had some of the, when you said Gaza, you're like, I'm going to take you on vacation to Gaza. Wow, okay? And I remember a time where we used to go on vacation, not so long ago, to Gaza, because it was the best beaches. We called it Gush Katif, but it meant Gaza, the Gaza Strip. Why have these places, Gaza, Hebron, and Lebanon, why have they come to mean these bad things? Why? Why do they mean that? Because I have to go on, I'll answer it for you, okay? Which is, the jihad has taken over these places and turned them into hell. Gaza was, not so long ago, in 2005, my wife and I went down to try to block, I was working for Arutz Sheva, Israel National News, we tried to block the country of Israel from removing itself from the Gaza Strip. What did we say back then? What was our rationale? Do you know what we said? Right? That if we leave Gaza, it'll become a forward base of the jihad. And you know what people said to us? No, it'll never happen. And you see, you'll give them land, they'll be peaceful. And they said to us, you'll see that if they start with us, we'll be really strong. Boom, we're going to smash them. They, the Israeli tough guy talk. And we're like, no, guys, no. This is a bad idea. You walk out of your land, your ancestral land. You give it over to the PLO. It'll be taken over by somebody we didn't know who was called Hamas. It could have been Al-Qaeda, and it could have been ISIS, and it could have been any of these guys. Same thing, really. There's no difference. Right? Just a little difference in ideologies. You give away that land, they will take that land over and make it a forward base of the jihad. We'll get to questions, okay? They'll make it a forward base of the jihad. And so we were like, don't do this. You know who else told us not to do it? The Arabs. The Arabs that I was working with and living next to and dealing with all the time, they were like through fences. I remember their hands. I just remember this image, that they had their fingers through the fence like this, and they were saying to me, Yishai, they said, don't leave. You don't understand who's going to take over this land. The jihad is going to take over. It's going to squash us average, decent Arabs. It's going to destroy our lives. It's going to take away our freedoms. It's going to also take our children and brainwash them to jihadism. So the Arabs said, don't do it. Don't walk away from your land and turn us over to the jihad. Because these jihadis that are coming, they're going to suppress us. They're going to be violent against us. If we say things like, I think I want to be friends with the Jews, they're going to cream us, crush us, kill us. They're going to take our kids, brainwash them. Don't leave this land. Don't do it. It's dumb. And it's against the rules of the Middle East. There are rules in the Middle East. You don't give up land for peace. You think that sounds, doesn't that sound nice? Here, I'm going to say something nice to you. I have something that's, you know this watch? You see this watch? It's really important to me. It's a really important watch to me. It's my army watch. I want to give you this watch. Even though it's important to me, I want to give it to you for peace, because I want to have peace with you. So take this watch. Does that sound nice? It sounds kind of nice, right? But in the Middle East, what the other side hears is, this guy Yishai is a total weakling. He's willing to give up his watch or his land for peace. That means he is spineless. He's willing to give his mother or his wife over to us. He's spineless. He doesn't hold on to what's his. He's not a man. And that's the discussion of the Middle East. And so we said to them, don't do this thing. We tried. All my friends were arrested. I was carried out of my house by the police because we were like, listen, we're doing you a favor. Please do not do this. Bad things are going to happen. Go back to the record of 2005. Nobody wants to talk about it today because it's embarrassing. Because they're like, nobody expected this to happen. Nobody expected something like this to ever happen. Yeah, right? We said it was going to happen. It wasn't we. It wasn't me and my wife. It was a humongous group of people. We went to the Likud, got the Likud to vote against it. The whole 70% of the Likud voted against it. We tried that. We tried everything we could to stop this thing from happening. And instead they did it. And what happened? We said it would take a year for the place to be taken over by the jihad. And what happened instead? It took a half a year. A half a year, the Hamas got rid of the PLO. Not that there's any difference between them. They're just the same sides of the two sides of the same coin. One is a suit wearing jihad, and the other one is a jihad, a keffiyeh wearing jihad. It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
So now we are expected to trust this suit wearing jihadi that lies literally every 5 seconds. Because nobody's that dumb. He knows that he's lying. Okay, so that lies literally, guys. Guys, you know what is my problem when I make videos? And I'm trying to find ways to sort this problem. And that's why you saw in the beginning, I started putting wrong. Because these buffoons, which are Islamists and the radical left, say bullshit every 5 seconds, guys. Every 5 seconds. It's annoying. Normal people say, you leave the video for a couple of minutes, they say something, and you go and correct them. These idiots, guys, Islamists and the radical left, say bullshit every 5 seconds, guys. Every 5 seconds. It's impossible to respond to these idiots. It's like trying to clean the sea. Okay, this is my problem. And I make videos, I erase the video, I make it again, and I'm trying to make everything fit. Anyway, so we are expected to believe from this suit wearing jihadi that once you give the Palestinians a state, they will become Norwegian people and they will embrace peace. We know for a fact this won't happen because we tried that. When I say we, I mean Israel. 2 times. The one is what this guy just explained in Gaza. But there was another one in the West Bank. Again, they gave them autonomy in the West Bank. After a couple of, months or weeks, all hell broke loose and they had to go in again. Okay, so we know from experience that wherever you give jihadis land, they use this land to further the jihad. Because in the culture of Islamists, that means weakness.
I think that you have a Palestinian government that should have authority over the West Bank and the Gaza Strip, including East Jerusalem. And I think that Israel has done everything to undermine the Palestinian leadership and government that are willing to make peace as long as the occupation ends. Israel considers that the existential threat is the Palestinian state. And that is a big mistake that has led to all this ordeal. It's Palestinian freedom who will bring shared peace and security to our region.
Utter bullshit. First of all, is really Israel that is against the United Nations recognized government of Palestine, the PLO. It is Israel who is undermining the PLO. Because the PLO is his party, his political party. Because that is what Hamas was doing. That is your fellow, comrade in the PLO. That is your fellow comrade in the PLO. Okay. I don't wish that, but that is you. When you, that is the end of your dreams. Now, this is the photograph. Okay, guys, when Hamas took power, when Israel left Gaza and Hamas took power, they were throwing his fellow comrades from the rooftops, literally. And this guy now is saying that Israel is in the way for us in the PLO to rule Gaza. Really? No, it isn't, in fact.
Okay, but by Palestinian government, you mean the Palestinian Authority, or do you mean Palestinian Authority on the West Bank and Hamas in Gaza?
I mean the PLO and the Palestinian Authority.
Okay, so you agree then that Hamas can have no leadership role going forward in any governmental sense in Gaza?
I disagree with the fact that we're ignoring Israel's responsibilities, and I disagree with
Well,
the fact
I'm going to come to that, but I'm just asking you directly.
Okay,
it
that is important.
seems to me you've already answered the
The
question.
state of Palestine, the state of Palestine is represented by its institutions who are committed to international law and who are committed to a two-state solution in which an independent and free state of Palestine lives side by side with Israel.
Unless we recognize reality efficiently, there is no hope to solve a problem. In the current circumstance where Palestinians are jihadists and not a reliable negotiating party, you don't negotiate. The free world needs to impose its will unilaterally. In normal terms, Israel should annex Gaza and have a one-state solution. But in this case, Palestinians should be given equal rights in Israel, something in the current circumstance that is impossible. A one-state solution means the end of Israel because of demographics. So, there must be a two-state solution. Obviously, Palestinians will never have a state in the West Bank, simply because Israel, especially after 7/10, will not allow the jihad to be on a rifle distance from their houses, from their windows. Okay. So, Israel should annex the West Bank and make it proper Israel. And look now, with that incentive, give land to the north with border in Gaza, give some land to make a Palestine. So Palestine will include Gaza and some additional land to the northeast. Okay, to the northeast. So they can call this land Palestine. But in this land, all blockade should be lifted. Okay, so this land should be free to have airports, airports, ports, and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so all blockades should be lifted. They will have a strong border. And now, the world, the free world, should rebuild Gaza, should spend millions, to make this place like Qatar, and forcibly install a liberal democracy. That means take out Hamas completely. Now, once you give them the means to stand on their feet, with rebuilding Gaza, and give them democracy in a golden plate, the conflict is over in the eyes of the world. Whether they like it or not, that is, take it or leave it. That is. The conflict is over. And the world will guarantee the security of Israel. They will say that from now on, if you attack, if you send half a rocket, we will destroy you. We will make you into rubble. We are not your friends. We are enemies. But because we are good people, we give you another chance. We rebuilt all your society, although it was your fault that you destroyed your society. We took out the evil of radical Islam. Okay, and we gave you democracy, and we gave you and we spent millions of our good money, okay, to rebuild Gaza once again. Once again. Okay, so we Europeans and Americans give once again our money because we are good people, and we actually care for you. Okay, we give the money, and we rebuild Gaza. And now you have a country and a chance to have a good life. Not a chance to make a caliphate, not a chance to promote the jihad, to make a good life. Okay. But now that you are a country, now that you are a proper country, and Israel has secured the border more easily, because now they will have one border. Okay, send half a rocket and see what is happening. One moment, please. One moment, please. One moment, please. Still, one moment, please. Abort. What's happening? 1 second, please. Sorry, no. Why? Yes, one moment, please. Sorry. Okay, now we start. We start, yes. Okay, Ella. Okay. Okay. It took 2 minutes.
Πες μου τι ήταν δικό μου. Πες μου τι ήταν δικό μου. Πες μου τι ήτανε δικό μου.
It's kind of dance. Πες μου τι ήταν δικό μου. Απ' τη ζωή μας πες μου τι ήτανε δικό μου. Και με έχεις κάνει να μισώ τον εαυτό μου. Πες μου τι ήτανε δικό μου. Απ' τη ζωή μας πες μου τι ήτανε δικό μου. Πες μου τι ήταν δικό.
Πες μου τι